Okay,
Mhm.
so I don't usually talk about things like this much, but I want to let everybody know my fan is so fucking loud. And I need to be not shivering for this. Because this is a very serious talk. Okay, so recently, some people may know me from being a friend of somebody called Liz Plays VR or something like that. Liz Plays VR, she's on YouTube, TikTok, VR chat, all that stuff. Recently, I have cut ties with Liz because I found out that she was basically a Trump supporter. And I don't want to be around that, basically. So, because of, the Epstein files, all that shit, the whole. What's the word I'm looking for?
Feelings that he has against himself.
All, everything. I have videos, I have screenshots, I have a whole bunch of shit on Liz because of it.
Donald Trump has dragged us into a war the American people do not want.
So she lost the election, and she's mad about the war in Iran. There is no war in Iran. We're simply taking away their resources that they would have used to build nuclear weapons, which could have been very catastrophic for us, by the way. I guarantee that if she had won, not even guarantee, it's almost 100% certainty that within, not even, I'm pretty sure within the day of her being sworn in, if she had won, not only would they have attacked American army and naval bases in the Middle East, they would have tried to attack us directly too. Pretty sure. Because, is this you? This was her response. This was her response to the threats from Iran, the country that was chanting death to America for decades. This was her response.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
That was her entire response and plan for the threats from Iran, by the way. To just tell them no. Funny thing is, something very similar happened in the 1940s. See,
So, let's start from the beginning of where all of this is kind of started. Charlie Kirk died. She started getting mad that people were happy the fact that he died, and she was defending him. Personally, I don't know much about him. A popular guy died. Whatever. People die every day. Okay? That's where I stand. Point. This guy died, but people die every day. But when a somewhat popular or
Controversial.
thank you, person dies, everything goes up in flames. See, we were on the matter for a couple of weeks, and then it just vanished.
God no.
Exactly. But she was mad the fact that people were happy the fact that he died. But she doesn't try to understand other people's points of view. She always is like, oh, but he has a family, he has a wife, all that. That's where she sits. But that's also where she doesn't understand the other people's points of view. But she started defending him and stuff. And I'll most likely find a video and put it in here because I believe it's still up. I don't know. If I can't, then I can't. But she was defending him with the argument, oh, he had a family and stuff like that. Another point to take this as, before people attack me for it. Everybody dies. People get assassinated on a daily. People get killed on a daily. People die on a daily. You got to understand, people have to understand that. It happens. They have loving families, all that stuff.
And then also, you have to realize that bad people die every day, and they still have loving families. Do you want to defend them?
Exactly. But, on with it. I have, before that, or during it, I had a conversation with her about it. I was like, hey girl, I don't think you should be getting into worldwide drama, because she already got death threats because of it. Okay? I was warning her. You know, hey, there's stupid people nowadays that will find where you live and do bad things to you. But she didn't listen. She continued. And then it got worse. Then she started talking about Trump and all that stuff. Now, I do have some videos of this saved, and I have screenshots of a conversation that I had with her. She... Okay, it's currently like 3 a.m. for us, but... there was a video of somebody who looks around like 19, I would say. 19, 18, maybe 20. Who was, you know, saying on how she doesn't like this country because of everything going on. That 100% will be a video hopefully I will find. And
I'm ashamed to be an American, because God knows I'm not free. And I won't forgive the men who lied and took my rights from me. And I'll stand up against your throne and curse her to this day. Because there ain't no doubt I used to love this land. But goddamn, fuck the USA.
Then leave. Bye. Because this is a free country. When you take into consideration other places in the world, like North Korea, for example, people that live in North Korea have to have a phone that is monitored by the government and only able to have government-approved apps and news. They are not free. They are in actual dictatorship. Oh, and Palestine, as well as other Middle Eastern countries under Islam, they're not free either, because the women and the LGBTQ plus people that you claim to care about, yeah, Islam does not care about them. Islam treats their women like cattle. And Islam is against LGBTQ plus people. In other countries that are under Islam, they kill gay people and trans people. They execute them. So how are we not free, exactly?
Show. Because that's where, like, most of my... I have another completely different combo in between that, but I don't have those screenshots yet. Shit. But basically, this young woman was saying on how she hates the USA. Okay. And then Liz does a switch. The first thing she says is, then why don't you leave?
Then leave.
That's the first thing she says. At somebody who is obviously too young to move to a different country. And then you will see in the argument we had about it that I told her, some people can't leave the country. The fact that I believe Liz in the future will turn into a bad person. That's what I believe. Because before things started going down, I believe a little bit before she got with her current boyfriend at the time, for some god-awful reason, things just started going downhill with Liz. But before that, she would... Now, you may have heard some people say on how she didn't care about her cast and stuff like that. The thing is, not like most of her cast are her friends. I was one of her cast. You may have seen me as characters from Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss, such as Vaggie and Luna. Also Lizzie from Murder Drones, all that stuff. And basically what she does is whenever she gets into a relationship with somebody, she basically completely blocks off everybody else except that person. It has happened to me multiple times, all that stuff. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. You can ask him, we've been dating for like almost a year. Just within that whole year, her current boyfriend talked to me more than she has done. Within like the past I would say year, but I'm not
He
sure.
has tried many times to hang out with Moon many different times, more than Liz has, and then when he tries to contact Liz to try and hang out, Liz is either busy doing something else, or she's too tired to do it. Or most of the time she's just playing the same game over and over again, which is Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight or
She,
Phasmophobia.
choo- she
And
chooses
she-
to play
the
those
thing
games
is,
multiple times.
She just doesn't understand. That's the thing. I don't think she understands.
And another thing, she tried many times to say, ask Moon to get Dead by Daylight and Phasmophobia so they can play together.
She asked me a lot of times. Personally, no offense to any Phasmophobia players / Dead by Daylight players, it's all kind of boring to me. Okay, I've showed a decent amount of dislike towards it. Right? It's not exactly my cup of tea in games. But basically all that, just all that. But she would basically isolate herself and her boyfriend from any other friends. And whenever she does bring friends around, he's always there. That's how it's been for the past 2 years that I've known her. And I've told her multiple
add on
times.
to something. Whenever we did hang out with Liz and her boyfriend, it would get awkward after a while because Liz would usually go quiet and not pay attention.
That's another
And
thing.
it get hard to
That's
actually
a really
be
other
active.
thing. I don't think she'll be able to see it because I believe I have her blocked on everything. Except here. Because I block people, but in this situation, I don't want to. I don't want to be associated with her, though. And I never will. I don't have her blocked anymore, at least. But I don't have her friended anywhere. So, basically, she's one of those people who doesn't listen no matter how many times you tell them. I have told her multiple times that her actions hurt, and they hurt deeply. Because, personally, I don't have that great of a relationship with my mother. I never have, and I viewed Liz as a mother figure, almost. And with her getting so distant, it just hurt, because that was my mother as far as I'm aware. My VRC mother, I should say. A mother figure, I should say. So, I don't know exactly when, but recently, I cut her off because of that and the fact that she was a Trump supporter. And I am not going to be associated with that, because we are, I believe, still in a somewhat active war. He has threatened to take out an entire civilization. He's in the Epstein files.
Many times.
Many
It's
times.
confirmed. I'm pretty sure he was good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Because he's made many different times in the files. There is apparently going to be a Supreme Court case about his impeachment. And if it goes through, then the vice president will take over.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't, he's going to stay in power until the next election happens.
Exactly. So, I was not going to be associated with that. Also,
Another thing about Liz,
Mm.
she did talk about ICE a lot.
She
talk
really
about
did.
ICE.
A lot. But basically, I found out that she was basically a Trump supporter.
Jefferson has my vote.
And that's what made me leave. Because if she's a Trump supporter, then at that point, that also means she is a pedophile supporter. Because Trump is a pedophile. And it has been proven
Yes.
multiple times.
He's also making sure sexual assault on a minor, burner, potential could be a rapist. This is what happened at Epstein Island. All the files.
So,
It could be more, but
from
we
what
don't
I
know right now.
believe, I believe that Liz will become a bad person. That's my personal opinion. I have known her for 2 years. I believe she will become a bad person. And I'm saying nothing but the truth when this video comes out. If you are going to be friends with Liz, go ahead. Just be careful. All I can say is if your gut is telling you something, listen to it. Because if you don't, then you might get yourself in a situation you can't get out of. I believe that's perhaps all, or is there something else I need to talk about?
And I think to add on about Liz from my experience with them. Sure, they are a very social person, but once you get their boyfriend around, they're gonna stop talking to you and mainly just talk to them.
Yes. That can go ahead and go with the fact that she basically pushes all of her friends aside for her partner. Not
And it's hard to find games for her because many different times she just wants to play the same game over and over again.
Mhm.
It gets annoying to try and do the different things.
Just basically be careful if you are a friend of Liz's or anything like that, because you don't know if Liz could be a bad person and just be faking you guys out. Because now I'm starting to think. Because nobody has really known about this. I don't think he has. But way back then, when Liz was 18, she would often flirt with this guy named Wendigo that I used to date, and also with me. You know, deep voice, stuff like that, characters we like, she would flirt. And I'm now realizing how wrong that is. Because I am a very young individual. My brain does tend to process things a little slower than how it would if I was, like 18 or something like that. But I'm not. I am under the age of 18. Therefore, like I said, I am a minor. But she would flirt with me, this Wendigo guy, and I believe a couple of other minors while she was 18. Minors. While she was 18. I believe I have pictures of it somewhere in my old VR chat pictures on my old headset. And I will do my best to find them when I can. But I believe Liz will be a bad person. So, if you are a friend of Liz's, just be careful. That's all I can tell you. Because I believe Liz will be a very, very bad person in the future. I believe that should be all for tonight. I'm very tired. I might make a second video. Both. I'll probably post this one either sometime. I don't know when. Depends on when it syncs to my tablet. I'll post it as soon as I can. I won't really cut much. Probably won't cut it at all. And I know how some people are when it comes to silence, so I'll most likely put some music to help. But that's all for tonight. I just thought I would get this out of the way. So, good night / day whenever I post this. One thing, like I said, I guess that would just be a quote, I suppose. If your gut tells you something, listen to it.